Okay, we're looking at section 10.2, multiplying polynomials on page 584. We're gonna two couple goals. We're gonna multiply two polynomials, and we're gonna use polynomial multiplication in real life situations when we get to looking at some area problems. First thing you have is the definition of FOIL. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last terms. It's just an order is all it is to multiply two binomials. In this case, we have 3x plus 4 and x plus 5. The first one is to multiply the two first numbers. In this case, we mean first numbers, we mean 3x multiplying by x. So you multiply 3 times the 1 coefficient and you get 3. And then x times x, remember, is x to the 1 plus 1, which is x squared. That's first. The second one is the outer. That's what the O stands for, outer. So you multiply the outer terms, things that are on the outside. So 3x again multiplies times 5. 3 times 5 is a positive 15x. The next one is the inner terms, the two inner terms, the ones that are closest to each other. In this case, 4 and x. So 4 times x is a positive 4x. And then finally, the last one that you need to multiply are the last terms, two that come at the end of each binomial. So 4 times 5 is a positive 20. That's foiling. 3x squared plus 15x plus 4x plus 20. And notice that is in standard form because it's counting down. The only thing we have to do is we have to combine our two numbers in the middle. 15x and 4x would be 3x squared plus 19x plus 20. And now it is in standard form for you. Example number 1 is using the distributive property. Notice you have x minus 5 times x plus 7. So this is not using FOIL per se, but notice it's going to come out to be the exact same answer if we were to use FOIL. All it did was it took x and it multiplied it by the second binomial x plus 7. And then it took negative 5 and it multiplied it by the second binomial x plus 7. So all it is distributing. So x times x will be x squared, and x times 7 will be 7x. And negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. So we have is x squared plus 7x minus 5x minus 35. The only thing there is to do at that point is to combine your like terms, 7x and negative 5x. 7 minus 5 is 2x. Notice x squared plus 2x minus 35. Example number 2, I should say, is multiplying using FOIL. Again, first is the f in FOIL, so x times 7x is 7x squared. O is the outer two terms, so x times 1 is 1x. I is the inner two terms. Negative 5 times 7x is negative 35x. And then L is the last two terms. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. So 7x squared plus x minus 35x minus 5. Combine your two like terms, x and negative 35x, you get negative 34x. 7x squared minus 34x minus 5. Example number 3, this is doing them vertically. This is a third method. This one's a little bit more confusing for most people, but if this helps you, I want you to be able to understand this. So we have 4 minus x times 8 minus 11x plus x squared. Notice both of these are written in standard form. All it did was it took them and it counted down based on the exponents. So that's why it switched negative x and positive 4 at the beginning. And that's why I put x squared, then negative 11x, then positive 8 as the second one, written in standard form. Then what you do is you multiply each of the three numbers in the trinomial by negative x plus 4. So 8 times 4 is 32, and 8 times negative x is negative 8x. That's the first one. The second one, you take 11x and you do the same thing. So, I'm sorry, negative 11x times 4 is negative 44x, and negative 11x times negative x is a positive 11. Notice it becomes x squared because you multiply x times x. I'm going to erase this for a second. The last one is to multiply x squared times both things. X squared times 4 is 4x squared, and x squared times x is a negative x. Notice it goes to the third power because you add up 2 plus 1, you get negative x to the third. So now we have all of this stacked on top of each other, negative 8x plus 32. We have 11x squared minus 44x, and we have negative x to the third plus 4x squared. Everything's still in columns, though, according to how many exponents it has, the number in its exponent. So we just add up what we have at the all the way on the far right. We have the number 32. Negative 8x minus 44x is negative 52x. 11x squared plus 4x squared is 15x squared, and negative x to the third power. Notice we have negative x to the third plus 15x squared minus 52x plus 32. All the like terms are combined, and this is, in standard form, a polynomial. Example number 4 is multiplying polynomials horizontally. 2x to the third minus 9x squared minus 11x times 2 minus x squared. You want to multiply 2 minus x squared by each of the three terms in the trinomial. So 2x, when we multiply, we'll separate it. Notice all of this just separated. 2x to the third separated and became here. Negative 9x squared separated and became here. And negative 11x separated and became here. But then all you're going to do is distribute each of those three things to it. So 2x to the third power times 2 is going to become 4x to the third power. And 2x to the third power times negative x squared will become negative 2x to the fifth power. For this second one here, negative 9x squared times 2 is negative 18x squared, and negative 9x squared times negative x squared is going to be negative times negative is going to be a positive 9. X to the 2 plus 2 is x to the fourth. The last one is multiplying negative 11x times both terms. Negative 11x times 2 is negative 22x, and negative 11x times negative x squared, a negative times a negative is a positive 11. X to the 1 plus 2 is x to the third. Notice we have a whole bunch of terms here. We can combine a lot of the like terms. First one we want to put is our x to the fifth power. So you always want to count down, remember? So negative 2x to the fifth, that's the only one that goes with that. That goes first. Then we have 1x to the fourth power. That's plus 9x to the fourth power. Notice that's the next one. Then we have two of them finally that show up with x to the third. We have 4x to the third combined with 11x to the third. When you add 4 plus 11, you get positive 15x to the third. Then we only have 1x squared. That's negative 18x squared. And we only have one negative 22. We only have 1x to the first power. Notice this is written in standard form because the exponents go 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 that's not shown. Okay, then we have a pool with a length to width ratio of 5 to 2. The walkway is 2 meters on the width side and 3 meters on the length side, and actually shows us there 3 on the length side and 2 on the width side. So our verbal model, the total area will be the length of the pool times the width of the pool, and both of those include the walkways. Remember, your formula for area is always length times width. So that's all we did was incorporate with the walkways, length times width. So to label a couple of things, the total area, we'll call it A. The length of the pool and the walkway. The length we know is 5x, but then we have two walkways that we need to include, 3 and 3. So 5x plus 3 can be simplified to 5x plus 6. You can do the same thing with the width. We know the width is 2x, but then there's 2. We have 2x, and then we have 2 and 2. So 2x plus 2 can be simplified 2x plus 4. So we have 3 labels now. Our total area is A. Our length with the walkway is 5x plus 6, and our width with the walkway is 2x plus 4. Our algebraic model, when we do our area, 5x plus 6 times 2x plus 4. That's just length times width. When we distribute that, 5x, we FOIL it out, or you can do any of the other two methods. Your first two terms, 5x times 2x, is 10x squared. Your outer terms, 5x times 4, is plus 20x. Your inner terms, 6 times 2x is plus 12x, and your last terms, 6 times 4 is plus 24. Notice the only thing you have to do at this step is combine your like terms, 20x and 12x. 20 plus 12 is 32x. So our trinomial in this case will be 10x squared plus 32x plus 24. Last part says find the area when x equals all of those values. Well, we know we have 10x squared plus 32x plus 24. 10x squared plus 32x plus 24. And then all we need to do is plug in each of those values. 10 squared will be 100 times 10 will be 1,000, plus 32 times 10 is 320. So 1,320 plus 24, it's 1,344. You can do the same thing with the number 20. When you plug it in, you get 4664. Same thing with 30, 99, 84, 40, 17,304. And with 50, finally, 26,624. And all it is plugging in each of these values, 20, in place of not just that x, but in place of both x values. Remember your order of operations, parentheses, then exponents, multiplication and division, followed by addition and subtraction. Then you have a couple of checkpoint problems. You can find this many different ways. We'll go ahead and FOIL it. 13 times x is 13x. That's your F. Your outer is 13 times 2 is plus 26. Your inner terms, negative x squared times x, is negative x to the 2 plus 1, which is third power. And then your last terms, negative x squared plus 2, is negative 2x squared. Then you just have to make sure everything is in standard form. Remember, you always want the x to the highest exponent first. So negative x to the third. Then x squared is next, negative 2x squared. Then positive 13x. And then finally followed by positive 26. For number 2, now you're multiplying a binomial and a trinomial. One has 3, one has 2. In this case, we really can't FOIL it because there's no, it's not two binomials. You can't do first, outer, inner, and last since there's a middle term in the first one. But we can make sure negative 5x gets multiplied by everything. Negative 5x times 11x is negative 55. X, it's 2 plus 1, so it's x to the third. Negative 5x times 7 is negative 35. X to the 1 plus 1 is x squared. And then negative 5x times negative 3, negative times a negative is a positive 15x. That's the first part. Notice how long this is going to be. That's the first part. Move it all over real quick. The second part is to multiply the 1 times everything. We know 1 times everything is relatively simple. 1 times 11x squared is plus 11x squared. 1 times 7x is plus 7x. And 1 times negative 3 is minus 3. Now we got a great big long thing. Now all we got to do is combine all of our like terms. Our first like terms, we don't have any x to the thirds except that one, so that one goes first. Negative 55x to the third. We have to combine our x squareds. That's up next. Negative 35x squared and positive 11x squared. So negative 35 plus 11, you subtract them. 35 minus 11 is negative 24x squared. Then you combine your like terms that are x to the first power. 15x to the first power and 7x to the first power is plus 22x to the first power. The last thing you have is your minus 3, and that is in standard form for you. Negative 55x to the third minus 24x squared plus 22x minus 3. The last thing says a picture has a length to width ratio of 3 to 2. The frame adds 1 inch to each side. Sketch and label the picture and the frame. So if you have a picture frame, it'll look something like this. Don't have to be perfect about it. And there's a frame that goes around it again. Don't have to be perfect. But it says its length and width is 3 to 2. So if this is the length down here, it'll be 3 times x. And this one right here will be 2 times x because it's 3 to 2. It says that the frame adds 1 inch on each side. So this is 1 inch here. This is 1 inch. It's 1 inch. And it's 1 inch. So each of these, as you look at the length and the length would be 3x plus 1 plus 1, or 3x plus 2. That's your length value. Your width value would be 2x plus 1 plus 1, 2x plus 1 plus 1, or 2x plus 2 again. That's your width value. Should have a picture that looks similar to that. The next step's actually going to tell us to go ahead and label it, I'm sure. It says write a polynomial expression that represents the total area. So area equals, we know it's 3x plus 2 times 2x plus 2. And when we go ahead and FOIL that out, 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x, that's our outer terms, times 2 is plus 6x. Our inner terms, 2 times 2x is plus 4x. And our last terms, 2 times 2 is plus 4. All you have to do is combine your like terms, 6x and 4x, and you get 6x squared plus 10x plus 4. So 6x squared plus 10x plus 4, 6x squared plus 10x plus 4. Then all you have to do is plug in each of these values in place of x. So when you plug it in here and also here, you plug it in both spots, you get the value when it's 2. 48 inches is the area. When you plug in 3, you get 88 inches. 4, you get 140. And then finally 5 inches, you get 204 square inches when you're talking about the area of this entire picture with the frame. And here's your ticket out of the door assignment, page 587, numbers 18 through 46, the evens. And your homework tonight is section 10.2 in the workbook.